Hello and welcome to a review on the Samsung Galaxy S5. So what does Samsung's latest flagship phone have to offer? At first glance, the Galaxy S5 looks like its predecessor. The front of both devices are almost identical. It's when you turn the device over you start seeing the main difference. From the top there's a 16 megapixel camera, an LED flash and a heartbeat sensor. Yes, you heard right, a heartbeat sensor. Long gone is the glossy plastic black cover. Now we have a beautiful dimpled rubbery feel, which is absolutely fantastic. A phone has never felt so nice in the hand, and one of my favourites of the phone. Underneath the back cover you'll find the slot for the micro SIM card, internal storage of 16GB, but it's expandable to a whopping 128GB, and the battery which is 20% bigger than the last model. Samsung have been keen to show off their new ultra saving power mode, where you can get a full day of battery with only 10% of juice. There is a slight drawback, it turns off practically every single service you can imagine, so stripping down to the bare bones of what the phone can do. It's still a really cool feature, but the vanilla battery life has still been improved, even rivaling to some extent my Galaxy Note 3. I was really impressed with the battery life on the Galaxy S5. Other connections on the back include your bog standard NFC, Bluetooth and a cool download feature called Download Booster, which allows you to download using both the Wi-Fi and 4G at the same time. Moving back to the front of the device we can see the screen, which has a tiny bump in size to 5.1 inches, but it retains its full HD resolution. It's a really attractive screen actually, boasting a strong contrast of colours. All this is powered by a huge 2.5GB quad-core CPU and 2GB of RAM. Everything feels blistering fast, as I tried many games to test its performance and there wasn't a single moment where the phone struggled. So let's talk about the two biggest features of the Samsung flagship. Firstly, the fingerprint sensor. This is a different implementation of the iPhone. Instead here, you swipe your finger across the home screen. When setting up, the wizard asks you to swipe around 10 times to learn your fingerprint, and away you go. It sounds like a brilliant idea, but for me at least, it just didn't work very well. More often than not, I had to swipe my finger so many times that I was eventually forced to type the password in to get into the phone. I wasn't incredibly impressed with the fingerprint sensor and ended up disabling it after a week or so. The next feature is the heartbeat sensor. Samsung have pushed heavily into fitness with devices such as the Galaxy Gear and the Galaxy Fit. S-Health has had a much improved facelift and it also couples with the heartbeat sensor. I'm not very sporty, but I tried it out nevertheless. Using the sensor is really easy to use. Placing your finger on it will give you a reading after 30 seconds or so. It would have been great if it actually worked. Most of the time it didn't really give me a value, either because it was too loud or my finger wasn't in the right place. And if it did give me a value, it was very erratic. In the space of 5 minutes my heartbeat went from 57 to 128 beats per minute, so take the feature with a pinch of salt. The S5 is actually water resistant and dust proof. Here is a video of someone else testing this out for you. I don't recommend using the phone while swimming underwater, but if you're in heavy rain or you've dropped it in the sink, it should be fine. Other differences include the addition of USB 3, which improves charging speed. The menu capacitive button is now recent apps, and the phone is loaded with Android 4.4.2. The majority of the design language I like, with icons looking cleaner and flatter. Some of the parts look really nice, such as the notifications panel, but there is a part of the UI that I don't like, and that's the settings application. It's hideous and cluttered. It wasn't a very nice experience for me. I mentioned earlier that the device has a 16 megapixel camera. It's capable of some fabulous images. Definitely some of the best images that phones are able to take, though I would still argue that Samsung's low-light functionality still lacks a little bit. The camera is also capable of some amazing video, even managing 4K resolution. Very impressive for such a slim device, and the quality of video is excellent. There's still a host of pre-installed applications which include Knox Security and all the S-apps you can think of, but there's an addition of Kids Mode. I thought it was quite good actually. You can configure it to how you please, so you can disable certain apps if you desire. It's that secure that it took me like a good half an hour to work out how to exit the mode. And that's it, that's the Samsung Galaxy S5. It packs a punch in performance, has a brilliant screen, the camera quality is gorgeous and the back cover is one of my favourite things about it, but the two biggest features are a little bit disappointing. It's an excellent Samsung device, but it just has very few surprises. Thanks for watching.